the beginning, after creating the heavens and the earth, God formed the first man, Adam. And then from Adam, He created the first woman, Eve. Their story is one of beauty, love, and also the beginning of human struggle with sin. God planted a magnificent garden in a place called Eden. It was filled with trees that were pleasant to look at and good for food. In the middle of the garden, He placed two special trees, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God told Adam, "You may freely eat from any tree in the garden, except from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. For when you eat from it, you will surely die." God gave Adam work to do caring for the garden and also gave him companionship. From Adam's rib, God made Eve, and she became his partner, his helper, and his beloved companion. Together, they lived in perfect harmony with God, each other, and creation. They were naked and felt no shame. But in the garden was also a serpent, more cunning than any of the wild animals the Lord had made. The serpent approached Eve and asked, "Did God really say you mustn't eat from any tree in the garden?" Eve replied, "We may eat fruit from the trees in the garden." But God said, "You must not eat from the tree in the middle of the garden, and you must not touch it, or you will die." The serpent whispered, "You will not surely die. For God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." Eve looked at the fruit. It was beautiful, though desirable, and promised wisdom. She took it and ate. Then she gave some to Adam, who was with her, and he ate too. Immediately their eyes were opened. For the first time, they realized they were naked. Shame entered their hearts, and they sewed fig leaves together to cover themselves. When they heard the sound of the Lord walking in the garden in the cool of the day, Adam and Eve hid among the trees. But God called out, "Adam, where are you?" Adam answered, "I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." God asked, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree I commanded you not to eat from?" Adam replied, "The woman you put here with me, she gave me some fruit, and I ate." Eve said, "The serpent deceived me, and I ate." Then God declared judgment to the serpent, "Cursed are you above all animals. You will crawl on your belly and eat dust all the days of your life, and I will put enmity between you and the woman, between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel." To Eve, "I will greatly increase your pain in childbearing. With pain you will give birth to children. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you." To Adam, "Because you listened to your wife and ate from the tree, the ground is cursed because of you. Through painful toil, you will eat of it all the days of your life. By the sweat of your brow, you will eat your food until you return to the ground, for dust you are, and to dust you will return." But even in judgment, God showed mercy. He made garments of skin for Adam and Eve, clothing them with His care. Yet because of sin, they could no longer stay in Eden. The Lord said, "The man has now become like one of us, knowing good and evil. He must not be allowed to reach out his hand and take from the tree of life and eat, and live forever." So God banished them from the Garden of Eden to work the ground. At the east of the garden, He placed cherubim and a flaming sword, flashing back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life. And so, Adam and Eve's choice brought sin into the world. But even then, God's plan of redemption was already in motion. The promise of a Savior, the one who would crush the serpent's head, was planted in the garden that day. This story reminds us of the seriousness of sin, the consequences of disobedience, but also of God's unfailing love and His plan to restore us to Himself.